Good evening and welcome to another episode of What's Your Story? Tonight we have the great pleasure of sitting down with Dan Beard. Welcome to our show. Welcome to the hot seat, as we like to call it. It's not really.
Thanks a lot.
So I'm trying to think the first time I met you was when the Perkins house was still on the property before the Mother's Wing. And I got a call from Michael Terabilda, who was a volunteer at the time, and he was running the book sale. And he said, Mary Lou, it was Mother's Day. We had just had this major storm through the Kennebunks.
Yep.
Mary Lou, the furnace isn't going on over here at the Perkins house. And I said, well, I'm just about to take my mother to brunch. What's going on? Can you do me a favor and look in the little booby hatch in the kitchen floor? And the water was up to the... So, da-da-da-da, here come the volunteer firemen to help us pump it out. I think that was our first encounter. So,
I think it was.
So anyway, thanks for coming to our rescue.
A lot of people. That's one of the neat things about the town. We've got a lot of guys and gals who just lay down everything. And when something needs doing, do it.
It's remarkable. It really is. I've seen it over and over again, not just here at the library, but in many other places that you all run to.
Right.
So it's it's a lot of dedication, and the paycheck is not what motivates you, right?
Well, I think back and you take in back in the old days of when there was no pay for anybody.
Yeah.
And who does a Gary Martin or a contractor or somebody charge, if anybody, while two or three of his people are out chasing fire?
Yeah.
And a lot of contractors and others, I'm sure, ate a lot of money.
Yeah.
By letting their guys and gals go.
So I'm going to step back a little bit and talk about, ask you about how you got to Kennebunkport. Have you been here forever?
No.
Okay, so where did you grow up?
I grew up in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Okay.
And went to a high school that had a marvelous, marvelous big theater and stage. And two of the guys, I somehow got involved working on the stage, building sets and lighting and that sort of thing. And two of the guys who were seniors when I was a junior, ahead of me anyway, formed a small company for lighting and set design and this sort of thing, and somehow wound up at the old Arundel Opera House.
Oh, wow.
And
which is where the fire station.
Right.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful little theater. And they called up in July and said, Dan, can you get up here and give us a hand? We've lost one of our techs.
Wow.
And I asked Mom, and she said, go. I'm not sure quite, but go. And I got here and fell in love with the humidity, the climate, the people.
Yeah.
I've got my ocean to sail on. And right then, I was a junior in high school, decided here's where I want to be. And that was 1954.
Wow.
And
so wait a minute, you weren't sailing back in Indiana?
On the lakes.
On the lakes, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Lakes and rivers.
Okay,
Yeah.
All right. So, but now you had
I had a
little bit bigger lake.
A little bigger lake. And I just fell in love with the community.
Yeah.
And
how did you and Sarah meet?
In college, I went to Antioch, which is a co-op school, and we were basically in class for, call it 3 months, and then on a work program someplace for 3 months, and then back and forth and back and forth. And I was working in the theater department up where she was in school in Ohio, and met. It was great. There were 500 girls and me.
Wow.
Wow. It was a neat bunch of people, really.
Yeah. Wow. So
Lived at the fire station,
Yeah.
and I got started in that when I was in Antioch.
Yeah.
We had a couple of engines in the fire company
Yeah.
of the college, and got involved in it back in 55, I guess. Been doing it ever since.
Wow. And so you brought your skills here, and
Right.
how long have you been volunteering for our fire department here?
Ever since.
Ever since,
I was
wow.
62 when we moved here.
My goodness.
Yep.
And you've seen some big changes
Oh,
through the years. Equipment, people, different companies. So, and it's really unique here.
It was more unique earlier when you had the 4 fire companies, and each one had its own management, its chief, engineers,
Okay.
and others. We all worked together pretty darn well.
Yeah.
But each section of town
Had its.
and those boundaries weren't terribly defined, but you sort of knew where your area was
Okay.
and that you were the most responsible for.
Yeah. So it was was it not so doing that, not so much political, right? You just kind of, this is our area and this is what we do.
Yeah.
And then others would come in and
oh, absolutely.
help out. Yeah.
Because you never knew whether you were going to have 2 people
Yeah.
or 22 kind of thing. So it worked well until the rules and regulations for reporting stuff and just all the paperwork
Right.
just got ahead of
Right.
practical
Yeah.
volunteerism, as it were, for that level.
Yeah. And how does it work for a volunteer, like say for me, if I want to join the volunteer fire pool?
Yeah.
How would I go about doing that today?
Go down and see Dick Stedman.
Okay.
Get the paperwork. We need people,
Yeah.
particularly young people.
Yeah. Well, I'm not young, but I mean.
You are by comparison to, Jim Stockman, Jimmy Burrows, and myself. We're all up in our 80s.
Yeah.
And we're still going.
And you're still teaching but you do need people.
Oh,
So,
badly. And women are very welcome.
okay. All right. That's
We've
good
got
to
a
know.
couple of real good young women.
Yeah.
And love to have more.
Okay. Well, we'll try to help get the word out on that.
Good.
So, and are you also active with CHEMS?
I still drive for
You
them.
still drive for them,
occasionally,
okay.
But I let my licenses go.
Okay. So what did you do for them besides driving? Were you on the board?
No, never was on
okay.
the board. I was Dave Rolfe, Bob Barabee, Ken Campbell were probably the primary instigators
Yeah.
of starting CHEMS.
Yeah.
And they dragged me in right there in the very beginning. And so I was one of the original members
Wow.
also.
Well, thank you for getting that going.
Well, give them most of the
Wow.
credit, those guys.
And a lot of people, especially people from away, when I talk about here, the library and also CHEMS, because it's sometimes we can compare ourselves as far
very
as like
much.
what we do for the community. And the fact that we are not a town department, which
Correct.
a lot of people think we are.
Correct.
So we still have to go out and do that fundraising, and so it really adds on to what CHEMS does. Sort of knowing that it's not just this group that's super funded and this is what we do. It's a lot of extra work
Oh
that
boy!
goes into
And
it.
today, all of the crew is paid. Again, when we started for the first, I don't know how many years, we had no radios, and so you'd sit at home during the course of the day and do whatever, and you'd get a phone call that'd go to so-and-so's house,
Yeah.
and get on, pick up the ambulance, and go. Today, it seems like everybody thinks they need a paramedic on duty, and most of the things you don't.
Don't.
But when you've got a real tough situation,
Yeah.
that's where you want to be.
Yeah.
But again, these guys and gals are not that many of them out there
Right.
who are available,
Yep.
and they need to be paid if you're going to have them around, whether it's Arundel or Kennebunk or Wells or any place else,
Yeah.
let alone the big cities.
Yeah. And we're really lucky here because we have a public health department,
Oh,
which
boy.
a lot of towns don't.
Yeah,
Nobody
I think
else.
that's what I was going to say. I don't think anybody
Yeah.
else does.
My grandmother was a public health nurse back in probably in the 50s. And so, unfortunately, a lot of towns decided to go a different route, but I'm so glad that Kennebunkport is still.
Yes, and she's a gem. All of them have
All of
been that
them,
I've
yeah.
known
Yeah,
have been just great,
yeah. And they work well with
Assets.
you.
very much.
Yeah, yeah. So that's really great. And providing a lot of that stuff that you can just, like you say, sometimes it's not that emergency that you just need,
Somebody
somebody.
needs to be picked up off the floor.
Yeah.
But, and we get, the gang gets a number of those kinds of calls,
Yeah,
falling out of their wheelchair and can't get back
Right,
up,
right.
living alone, this
yeah, yeah.
type of thing.
So you still drive once in a great while?
If they need
Yeah.
third person.
And what else do you do with your time?
I've never been so bloody busy in my life.
I have a feeling you were going to say that because I see you doing lots of things. So
Anybody who says they're bored ought to just be smacked upside the head. There is so much fun stuff to
Yeah.
do, and that costs nothing and hopefully helps somebody out.
right.
And just get off your front porch and put your book down and go out and do.
Yeah, that's great. That's great advice for all of us. But seriously, what do you sail?
Say,
Yeah,
fuss around building a boat now and then.
yeah.
And play down at the fire station or work at Bradbury's Market 2 days a week.
Oh,
Since last fall. What a hoot.
that must be fun to be in there and see the characters that come and go.
The worst part for me is I've failed to be able to put faces and names
Oh,
together in so many cases. See people that you've seen for a long
Right.
time, and the name just doesn't come through. And it makes me so darn mad.
well, that happens
Yeah.
though. I'll say, and when that happens here to me, I'll say, "Do you have your card number?"
Oh,
And then if they say, "No, I don't have it," then I'm really stuck.
yeah, stuck.
And I really try to do the best I can and remember people's names, some even the numbers I know, but sometimes it's just blank.
Yeah.
So what do you do at Bradbury's?
Tuesday morning, Friday morning, when the truck comes in,
Oh,
I stock shelves.
how cool.
And I will say that the crew that I've had the pleasure of working with and the owners
Yeah.
have just been fun.
Oh, good. Well, that's what you want, right?
Yeah.
You want a job that you're not dreading going to, and this is just for you,
Yeah.
Another part of your week to fill up. And so besides Bradbury's and sailing and working in a workshop, any other activities
Just-
or committees that you are
I'm
on?
still on the budget board. And,
Okay. Yeah.
And, Lord, I don't know.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And you and Sarah still do a little bit of traveling here and there.
Not much as we used to.
Yeah.
And particularly in the last couple of years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just-
But you used to go on a road
Yep.
trip here and there. Any interesting places you want to share?
Sailing wise, one of my favorite places
Yeah.
in many ways is Grand Manan Island, which is,
Grand
if you look at basically where,
Is it on your shirt somewhere?
no, that's Casco Bay. If you go almost due east of the Jonesport area, there's an island which is part of New Brunswick.
Yep.
And we've been there, I'll call it 5 times. Anchor in or tie up on a float
Yeah.
someplace.
Yeah.
Every single time we've landed, somebody has been on the floats or on the docks or walked down. Now, if you guys want to see the island, my truck will be at the top of the pier up there. Keys are in it. Just take it and go. Everybody will wave to you because they think it's me, but just take it and go. And it's been that way every
wow.
single time.
No change.
No change. Wow. Which is pretty neat.
Yeah. So that's pretty far out. I'm trying to think of like how do you get up through there? Do you you
We
leave from
sail-
here?
We usually sail out of Southwest Harbor
Oh, south. Okay. Mm-hmm.
if we're going on the eastern shore of
Yeah.
Canada, or just poke our way up the coast. We're cruisers. We're not racers.
Yeah. Good for you.
And just poke along. And
Yeah.
in 60 years of doing it, I don't think we've hit yet a summer when we haven't found at least 1 or 2 new fun little hidey holes
Oh
or
yeah.
places.
That's great.
Yeah.
Different birds, different things that you've noticed in the time that you've been sailing.
Lots, but I'm not
Yeah.
a birder. Sarah is
Yeah.
more so
Yeah.
than I am.
Yeah. I'm just curious to, with different migrations, like, things that you've noticed, even like water temperature or things like that have changed, but maybe not up there.
Nothing that strikes me
That's great.
greatly.
That's great.
And probably I'll think of something half an hour from now.
The some of the people, the hard sailors that go up and down the coast that I've talked with, they've been many places, but they still say this
It's a good spot.
state and that whole area where you're describing is
We've sailed a bunch of different places, and
yeah
it's spectacular.
yeah
We went several years ago. We were out for 5 weeks and got up just south of Newfoundland,
oh wow
and had 4 weeks of fog out of 5. But fog is what if you have basic skills and a little luck. There is nothing to be worried about in fog. And I think back of the early years when we were sailing, you had a compass and a depth sounder is all we had, and just basic navigation skills.
right
Paper plates, paper charts.
yeah
And today, with all of the electronics, I mean, there's no reason that somebody should not feel comfortable out
right
there.
right I think the basic skills though it would be smart for people to learn because I think me and I'm not the that younger generation that has been just GPS but to be able to read a map a compass those kinds of things that's really important.
A
So-
couple of years ago, we got called out to, the fire department got called out to Stage Island Harbor. And there was a boat that had left the river, new boat to the folks. And it had a lot of haze, but not what I'd call fog.
Yeah.
Their electronics went down.
Oh man.
So, where's your compass? I don't know how to read one. Well, where is the chart? Or give me a paper chart and I'll show you where you are. Well, I don't have any. And you think, smack them upside the head. What are you doing out here at that rate?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you could see easily. Well, not easily, but you could see down the coast
Yeah.
quite a ways ahead of them.
Yeah.
And you think, you're going to go out here and put other people in danger,
Yeah.
trying to save you from
Right.
not preparing well.
Right. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
My old boss, an attorney in Portland, he was Coast Guard when he first got out of school, and he was telling me this story about being out in California and getting a call. The Coast Guard, he gets a call on his shift, and there was a couple that was out in the middle of the bay, and Mayday, Mayday sort of thing. They had no idea what they were doing. And when the Coast Guard got on ship to, see what was going on, they asked them those same questions. And they said, well, we have this map we got at the mobile station.
Yep.
A big road map
Yep.
that's not really about the ocean, but it's that kind of,
Yeah.
and you're putting all those other people in. Yeah. So,
Oh, yeah. The good old days.
yeah, exactly. So, there was something else that I was going to ask you about. You're part of the Old Goats.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So, and we've come to know you all as the greatest of all time, right? That's the new. It's just so funny. I really enjoy your group coming in here, and I know prior to the pandemic, you were going to a restaurant,
Right.
And so now you all brown bag it, and someone comes with a dessert, but
Oftentimes. Yeah.
oftentimes, and so that's a really nice group of people that.
What's an interesting bunch? Very, such a variety
Yeah.
of backgrounds.
Yeah.
And usually we do not get into politics.
No, that's probably smart, but.
Probably, but it sure does hamper the.
And there's not a speaker or anybody.
No.
You're just coming and shooting the breeze.
Right.
What have you been up to? And, that's
Exactly.
That's really great. How long have you been a goat?
15 years, I
Oh,
guess,
wow.
something of that nature.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for you.
And, some people have left or died.
Yeah, yeah,
And new members on board. And,
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's a very diverse group
Yeah.
with background.
Yeah.
I'm the only teacher. Well, no, Joe Foster.
Joe
and
Foster,
I
yeah,
are the only teachers. No, there's a character.
Oh yes, yes. That's a good term. Dick Dabrowski, who was
Yes.
one of the founding goats, he used to come in and talk to me about this group, and I thought that's just fascinating, But that was quite a long time
Right.
ago. So this group's been around for.
Yeah, I don't know how when he, as I remember him telling it, he brought the idea
Right.
here from
Yep. From
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. Yep. So, and a friend of mine, her dad is in the Romeos. So, retired old men eating out. Which I think is, I kind of like the goat idea.
It's just
so,
fun.
Yeah.
Then
yeah.
you had Booth Chick and his gang. I'm trying to think of the name at the moment, but there have been a bunch of different
Yeah.
guys get together, and I'm sure there are some girls that do same thing. I'm just not familiar with them.
Well, so I think there's like that Red Hat Club, and there's been a few others, but I need to start a group here. I think. What do you think, Mike? Well, you're a guy, so never mind. We need to start probably a ladies group. I tried one at home once. We were called the Wine and Wine. So, but just sort of, that's all we did was wine and wine. Nothing productive.
I'm not going to comment.
Exactly. So, anyway. So what do you have planned? Any trips you're going to be taking soon, or are you just low-keying it here? And
Hopefully Friday will, as we have for the last 60 years, go out the mouth of Cape Porpoise and turn left.
wow. Okay.
Don't know where we're going.
Yeah.
Don't care.
That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. Do you keep an eye on the weather though? Like when you're getting ready
To
to
a
take off?
degree,
Yeah.
yeah.
But you can always tuck in somewhere and
Yeah.
hunker down if you have to.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So,
We don't sail that far offshore, usually within 20 miles or so, unless you're going across to
yeah.
Nova Scotia and then
Yeah. I've never been up there. So, one day. One
go
day.
for it.
If you need a third mate.
Okay. You're on. All right, come on. Come on.
Okay, sounds good. That sounds good. So we usually end our interview with a rapid fire round questions. One word answers are good. Most of the time they're not, but because we usually elaborate. So, but I'll start off with an
fast
easy.
about anything. I never played any sports because I wasn't fast
That's
enough to do
okay.
anything.
This is easy. This is easy.
Okay.
So, do you have a favorite movie?
Probably not.
Okay. Favorite color?
No.
Okay. Ice cream flavor?
Oh, I like stuff with peanut butter in it.
Okay. That's good. Favorite restaurant? And it doesn't have to be around here.
Depends on the level of restaurant.
Wherever.
I
What you
like,
go to?
Sarah and I like to sit at the bar often in places like Main Diner.
Yep.
Where you can talk to everybody.
Right.
As opposed to sitting in a booth
Yeah.
with just 2 or 3 of you.
Gotcha. Yep.
And then place like Clay Hill Tavern would be,
Yeah.
for a more formal,
Yeah.
would be my guess.
But you like to go to the bar
Yeah.
somewhere.
And not
that's
to
cool.
drink, just to
just
to
to
socialize
Yep.
with,
Yep.
see what's going on.
Yeah.
Moody's is a hoot
Okay.
up in
Yeah.
Waldoboro.
Yeah. I've not been there yet. Moody's
yeah.
Diner. No, I have
Oh,
not been
gotta
there
go
yet.
up there.
I know. Yeah, I need to just I
Get
need
outta
to get
here.
out of here and turn left.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
What is the coolest place you've ever been? Like the most unique place you've ever been?
In its own crazy way, when I was in college, several of us got together and used to do a lot of cave exploring,
Oh, okay.
spelunking. And some of those caves would be in that respect.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care about cities. I love people. But, you know, I don't need all this people stuff. I want to learn something if I can
Yeah.
from my, whether it's looking at like this book I just picked up down. It's got all kinds of pictures on how things are done. And you can translate that into your own actions or helping others understand what is going on
Yeah.
physically.
Yeah.
But as far as reading a book for the intellectual stimulation,
Yeah. So you're super hands-on
you know, I
and
tend to be.
yeah, good for you. We need you.
I grew
in
up
the
on
world.
a farm in Indiana during the war. There were basically no guys around to take care of the equipment and so forth.
Yeah.
And my father was in the South Pacific as a surgeon,
Yeah.
and there was his grandfather and a couple of older gentlemen like him around who took the time
Yeah.
to teach me
Yeah.
or allow me to learn how to do things. And I will be forever
Wow.
grateful
That's great.
for that.
Yep.
I was in grade school. I was usually the top student in math and science, and frankly, I was bored.
Yeah.
And the teachers, again, you couldn't do it today,
Right.
but the teachers sent me down to work with the custodian, and I was firing a coal-fired furnace. I learned what the way an oil burners worked, fixing urinals, and
Yep.
all this kind of stuff. While the rest of the guys and gals were in class, learning what their
Yeah.
supposed to, sort of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And I will be forever grateful for the teachers to have sent me out
Mm-hmm.
and allowed me to learn
Right. Some really good
just
skills.
skills.
Yeah, life skills.
Yeah.
And you know, when you have do you have an old home that you?
It's built in the 30s.
Yeah, but that's, you know, I mean, things
It's got
like
some
that.
aches and pains.
Yeah. But you have to know what you're doing with those aches and pains.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's great. Thank you very much for being our guest tonight.
Thank
We
you.
really appreciate sitting down with you, and appreciate all you do for our great town.
It's a great town.
It really is, but it's people like you who make it special.
There are
So
a lot of special people in this
yeah,
town.
but give yourself a little. Let me give you a little pat on the back, so to
Okay.
speak. All right, good. No, it was a real pleasure to sit down and talk with you and
It's fun to talk.
learn more about what you are all made of.
I don't know that you really want to know that.
So
Thank you.
and thanks to our producer Mike Kelly for getting us through another session. And yeah, anyway, thank you, and
Thank
good luck with your next sale.
Thank you.
So thanks for joining us tonight, and we will see you right back here on our next episode of What's Your Story?
Good evening.